Across China, almost every city harbors a few abandoned constructions that stand as heartbreaking reminders to locals of sourced investments. However, some of these constructions stand out for their sheer peculiarity. Let's delve into these bizarre and abandoned projects together. This is the world-renowned Pentagon, completed in 1943, serving as the office building for the US Department of Defense. In the Pudong district of Shanghai stands a desolate and forsaken structure resembling the Pentagon. The Pentagon World Trade Mall. Erected in 2009, it spans an impressive 500,000 square meters across 5 floors, even surpassing the original Pentagon in size. The Pentagon World Trade Mall is composed of 5 rings of pentagonal buildings with a multifunctional scenic plaza at the center with a diameter of about 130 meters. Its design concept was inspired by the US Pentagon, and inside, customers can take logistic vehicles to travel freely within the complex and reach any part of the building within 7 minutes. Initially, it was positioned as the largest import commodity exhibition and sales center in the country, but due to its remote location, it has always been difficult to attract merchants, becoming the largest unfinished building in Shanghai. Quite a few urban explorers have made special trips to investigate. They found it a ghost building with shop doors tightly locked and many areas still in a rough state, and garbage scattered in the corners. Some people have said that even entering at noon on a sunny day, one can feel a chill behind them.
This elevator has many cracks. I'm really afraid it might break down. The second floor is similar to the first floor, also an unfinished area. Walking in such a place feels quite scary, not knowing what might suddenly jump out. This is a large corridor. It seems like someone is living here. There are also chairs and it's all in a mess. There is also a bed here and a security guard's uniform here.
However, this unfinished building already opened for business in July this year, and what's even more absurd is that it has turned into a vegetable market. Think this is a pyramid in Egypt? No, this is a pyramid within the Vanking Park in Wuhan, China. Standing at 5 meters tall, it shares the same latitude of 30 degrees north as the pyramids in Egypt. Vanking Park boasts 825 acres designated as a tourism zone. The construction began in 1996 but faced a halt due to financial and transportation issues in 1999, leaving it as an unfinished project. In 2013, a series of photos titled Wuhan's Mysterious Pyramids circulated on Weibo, drawing crowds to Vanking Park. Visitors discovered that these were miniature pyramids constructed with cement and red bricks. Due to their age, some sections of cement have peeled off, revealing the bricks. The park also features numerous replicas of other world-famous sites, like a 6-meter-tall Mayan temple adorned with mysterious symbols, over 10 other abandoned buildings resembling a Dutch windmill without blades, a Greek temple with falling cement, and hints of European castles are sprinkled throughout the park. These 5 to 6 meters tall structures look surreal, rising from the bushes. Today, the greenery adjacent to this cluster of buildings has transformed into a popular spot for picnics, barbecues, and leisure activities. It's also a hot spot for taking selfies and wedding photos. Dominating the skyline of Suzhou, Jiangsu province, stands the 301.8 meters tall Gate of the Orient. This skyscraper, 6 times the height of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, features a unique structure resembling a pair of giant long johns, or autumn trousers in Chinese, earning its nickname the Autumn Trousers Building. It boasts 66 above-ground floors covering a total construction area of 450,000 square meters. The structure integrates 2 towers at the base, converging into a singular arch at the top. Due to its peculiar structure, it has been dubbed as one of China's 10 most bizarre buildings. It is reported that the building houses as many as 100 elevators, utilizing steel equivalent to that used in constructing 8 aircraft carriers. The pinnacle showcases a unique arch-shaped glass curtain wall with plans to house a Suzhou-style garden, a 5-star hotel, and a 16.6-meter high presidential suite, offering a panoramic view of Jingji Lake. Launched in 2004 with plans for completion in 2008, construction delays pushed the start to 2008. Due to funding shortages and complexities in constructing the dome, the delivery was extended 4 times, leaving it as Suzhou's largest unfinished project for years until its full illumination in October 2016. Now a new landmark in Suzhou, it holds records such as the world's first gate, China's most complex ultra-high building, China's largest steel structure, and China's tallest garden. Online commenters joked that the similarly oddly shaped Beijing Central Television underpants building finally has a friend. However, recent visitors to the top floor have noticed that the much advertised Sky Garden, the 5-star hotel, and the 11.6-meter high presidential suite remain far from completion, instead presenting a state of decay. Furthermore, extensive exterior work at the top of the building is underway, and the large shopping mall within the Gate of the Orient has mostly remained unoccupied to date. Do you know about this lotus-shaped building in Guangzhou? It is an enormous outdoor football stadium initiated in 2020 with substantial investment from the Evergrande Group. Former president of Evergrande Group, Xia Haijun, once proudly announced an investment of 12 billion yuan in building the world's largest, highest standard, fully equipped, technologically advanced football stadium with the highest seating capacity. It aimed to surpass Barcelona's Camp Nou Stadium, accommodating 100,000 spectators upon its projected completion in 2022. The unique Lotus design came to life through several rounds of competition amongst 8 top-notch architects from the USA, Germany, the UK, and Australia. Organizers ultimately selected the proposal by American Hassan A. Said. Evergrande's chairman, Xu Jiaying, personally participated in the design, which later received unanimous approval from the Guangzhou Urban Planning Committee. While unveiling the stadium design concept, Evergrande highlighted the embodiment of nobility, resilience, and unity, representing traditional Chinese cultural values. It also symbolizes a bright vision of a blooming lotus winning successive championships. The futuristic and fashionable design resembling a crown custom-made for Guangzhou football promised to become a new global landmark comparable to the Sydney Opera House and Dubai's Burj Khalifa. Unfortunately, plans faltered as a year after breaking ground, Evergrande faced several financial constraints, forcing the project into a halt, with no resumption in sight. Presently, Evergrande has returned the land use rights to the authorities, leaving the construction site desolate and corroded steel rebar scattered about. Netizens have remarked sarcastically on the shabby style. What you see before you, a structure resembling a shipping container, is situated in Changchun Fuhua Future World. Initially envisioned as Project Number 1 in Changchun, aiming to establish the largest commercial tourism hub in northeast China, it now stands as the biggest abandoned project in Changchun, attracting no commercial interest whatsoever. Boasting a total investment of 50 billion yuan and spanning 450,000 square meters with a building area of 1.58 million square meters, the Fuhua Future World was conceived as 2 parts, a financial industry park and a cultural creativity park. It promised to encompass the world's largest indoor theme park, indoor marine park, cultural themed performance area, shopping center, financial hub, creative business garden, spa hotels, wellness hotels, and more, aiming to be a new urban icon in Changchun, even a new landmark in Northeast Asia, potentially creating nearly 10,000 jobs with an annual footfall of 25 million people. More exciting was the planned construction of a towering skyscraper standing at 395 meters with 88 floors near the shipping containers. However, after its launch in May 2018, the project came to an abrupt halt within less than 6 months due to a broken capital chain, catching many property buyers unprepared. Although a resumption ceremony took place a year later, no further actions were observed. Many families who invested their lifetime savings found themselves embarking on a long journey for rights protection. During a site visit on August 19th this year, media personnel found the entire project surrounded by iron fences, with sporadic piles of steel and cement within, and numerous areas overtaken by weeds. Apart from the eye-catching shipping container structure, the rest were merely rudimentary structures or undeveloped wastelands with no signs of resumption. In a recent update, a netizen ventured inside the project, revealing a once grand but now dilapidated European-style sales office, stripping of its wiring. According to a worker from a nearby company, the Fuhua Future World has been stalled for several years. Previously, 2 people were overseeing the site, but they are no longer visible. The future world has tragically transformed into a world with no future. This is a real estate development in Wuxing City, Jiangsu Province, that has been halted for 8 years. According to mainland media reports in 2021, due to the unfinished construction and lack of a drainage system, the first underground level, which spans over 10,000 square meters, has accumulated over a meter of water, transforming into a large pool. Consequently, some home buyers have started raising fish in it.
Bought the house in 2014, and it was supposed to be delivered in 2015. Now, oh my, they even threw in a swimming pool. Such a conscientious developer. It would be a shame not to add some koi fish in there.
Property owners shared that approximately 3 years ago, people began raising fish and shrimp in the pool, which now hosts a variety of species, including blackfish, mudfish, eels, and lobsters. There's even an area designated for fishing alongside a wishing well sign. Initially, raising fish was merely a fun activity, but as more people began investing in fish fingerlings, they realized it's also presented an opportunity for development. In China, even when housing projects stall, mortgage payments continue as scheduled. In an effort to mitigate financial losses, homeowners have established several aquaculture farms in the area. Along with a koi pond for visitors to admire, visitors to the building basement are greeted by a vibrant ecosystem of various fish and shrimp species. According to homebuyer Mr. Shao, they managed to catch 3.6 kilograms of lobsters just last week. As for the sign labeled Wishing Well, equipped with 2 QR codes for payments, it serves as a form of self-mockery amongst the property owners. Those who come to make wishes are primarily the homeowners who have been eagerly waiting for over 6 years, harboring the simple hope that the absentee developer returns to complete the construction of their homes. Expecting to recover millions of investment costs through aquaculture is obviously a fanciful idea. However, the homeowners engage in this as a form of self-entertainment and a satire of the unscrupulous developer. Netizens are caught between laughter and tears, commenting, "There are always more solutions than problems." Meet the infamous Zhongshui Building, known as Guangzhou's premier unfinished skyscraper. Initiated in 1994 and capped in 1999, it towers at 174 meters, boasting 43 floors and sprawling over 60,000 square meters. Its tarnished facade and exposed reinforcements stand in glaring contrast to the neighboring sleek, modern high-rises. Nestled in the bustling enclave of the Tianhe district, the Zhongshui Building enjoys a prime location near to subways and train stations, forming a transportation hub. Once a reason for anticipation and pride for the locals, it found itself embroiled in a web of legal disputes over property rights amongst the investors. Consequently, the final touches to the building were brought to a standstill, leaving it in limbo and unclaimed for a staggering 24 years. In the year 2010, amidst the vibrant atmosphere of the Asian Games hosted in Guangzhou, the Zhongshui Building metamorphosed into a monumental outdoor media billboard for a series of grand events promoting Guangzhou's urban development. An assembly of gigantic billboards enveloped the incomplete structure, offering it a new guise. After the Asian Games, the billboard transitioned to commercial advertisement, fetching a monthly rent of 3.8 million yuan. In a historic move in 2012, the COFCO Group unveiled an unprecedented outdoor building wrap advertisement at this location for its Fortune cooking oil brand. This innovative campaign not only set a world record for the largest cooking oil ad, as recognized by the World Record Association, but also bestowed upon Zhongshui Building a world record certificate, earning it a whimsical nickname, Guangzhou's most remarkable advertising building. Of course, all of this was to cover the ugliness. After all, this unfinished building is like a scar in Guangzhou. After being completely covered by advertisement, it becomes invisible, turning into a unique part of skyline instead. Finally, in 2013, the giant billboards were dismantled and the unfinished building was revealed again. Located in Zhengzhou City, Henan Province, China, Royal Lake World is an unfinished housing development that started out with grand ambition. Despite a project being halted for the developer declaring bankruptcy, there still remains a community and the building structures. Some homeowners move into the unfinished building, holding on to the idea that as long as the building is still there, there is hope for resumption. However, at Royal Lake World, aside from this luxurious gate that cost over 10 million, what remain is a patch of weeds without even a single brick or stake present. But it is said that solely based on the site of this gate, 1/3 of the entire project has been sold.
你在这干啥呢？
看看房子，
这哪有你房子啊？
问那儿干嘛？
那栋啊？
这儿，
这不是空地吗？
是，我给这个地还了5年贷款了。
Did the developer forget to build the house? Of course not. Actually, the project's blueprint is actually quite well done. According to the online promotional materials, Royal Lake World is located in the core area of Xinjiang County, Zhengzhou City, with an average price of 7,300 yuan per square meter, covering more than 500 acres, including high-rises and villas, with a total construction area of about 590,000 square meters, planning for 2,225 households and 3,431 parking spaces. The surrounding not only have 10,000 acres of Yellow River wetlands, but also 1,800 acres of lake view. Yet in the end, only a gate is left. A netizen said, really have to admire the Evergrande boss Xu Jiaying. China, seeing unfinished building is nothing out of the ordinary, but witnessing one abandoned this early is indeed unprecedented. This is precisely the case with the Sky City in Changsha. Back in 2013, the formidable Broad Group, under the stewardship of Zhang Yue, announced an ambitious project, a whopping 9 billion yuan investment to construct a 208-story, 838-meter high Sky City in Changsha, yet to be completed in a mere 7 months. Once erected, it was to dwarf the 828-meter tall Burj Khalifa in Dubai, claiming the title of the world's tallest building. Authorities professed that this architectural marvel would house over 30,000 inhabitants, 44,550 residential units, 250 hotel suites, 45 lush parks, a sprawling 100,000 square meter space dedicated to schools, hospitals, and offices, equipped with 93 elevators. Remarkably, one could even drive a car up to the 170th floor. It was touted as earthquake-resistant up to magnitude of 9, harboring everything but a crematorium. On July 18, 2013, the Broad Group entered into a formidable partnership with the China Construction 5th Engineering Division Corp., formalized through a general contracting agreement for the Sky City project. On the 20th of July, the construction site in Huilong Village, Wancheng District, Changsha buzzed with activity and hope. Colorful flags fluttered in the wind, and a flurry of human voices filled the air. Excavators and dump trucks stood in neat rows as the poignant melody of Castle in the Sky by renowned Japanese composer Joe Hisashi's echoed in the background, narrating tales of a distant, shimmering city nestled amidst the clouds. The groundbreaking ceremony was slated for 2 p.m., but Group President Zhang Yue was noticeably absent. Amidst growing anticipation and anxiety, Yue made a grand entrance, descending from the sky in a helicopter, a spectacle that captured the undivided attention of the masses. Upon completion of the corner store laying ceremony, a wave of joy and euphoria swept through the citizens of Changsha. News spread like wildfire, with people enthusiastically proclaiming the impending arrival of the world's tallest building in Changsha, a source of immense pride and a reason for jubilant celebrations. However, this wave of enthusiasm was abruptly halted just 4 days later, as the project was brought to a standstill by relevant departments, with no signs of resumption thereafter. In 2016, journalists from the mainland media ventured to Sky City construction site. The scene that met them was starkly different. Fishing enthusiasts occupied the area where not a trace of construction could be discerned amidst the overgrown weeds. The cornerstone of Sky City lay forsaken amidst the foliage. A staff member who remained at the site pointed towards the artificial lake in the distance, noting that it was the remnants of the pit dug for Sky City, a project that lay abandoned for years, now repurposed by locals as a thriving mandarin fish breeding ground. In 2022, an avid photographer captured aerial footage of the forsaken pit, which now bore resemblance to a mundane fish pond. The world's once promised tallest building had unceremoniously transformed into a fish pond. In a bizarre turn of events, the broad group defended their stand, stating, "We're only began excavation, construction hadn't commenced, so how can it be halted?" For a long time, the most infamous abandoned building projects in China was the Giant Tower in Zhuhai. The owner of the Giant Tower was Shi Yuzhu, the founder of the Giant Group. In 1993, at the pinnacle of his career with assets surpassing 1 billion, he ranked among the top 10 wealthiest individuals in the mainland. He resolved to build an 18-story building exclusively for his company's office use, without initial plans of venturing into the real estate sector. In 1993, Zhuhai, being one of China's 4 special economic zones, was experiencing the zenith of economic reform and opening up. According to Chinese media reports at the time, a Communist Party leader, while visiting the site of the Giant Tower, enthusiastically suggested to Shi Yuzhu, "The location of this building is excellent. Why not build it taller?" This remark propelled the constant escalation of the Giant Tower's plan, evolving from 18 floors to 38, and then successfully expanding to 54 and 64 floors. At the beginning of 1994, the groundbreaking ceremony for the Giant Tower took place. Just as Shi Yuzhu was about to announce the 64-story building, set to be China's tallest, he caught the eager gaze of Zhuhai Mayor and Municipal Party Secretary Liang Gangda. In an impulsive moment, he noted that 64-story wouldn't significantly surpass other tall buildings in the country. Shi Yuzhu then boldly declared, "The Giant Tower will have 72 stories." Consequently, Shi Yuzhu was named one of the top 10 reform figures in China in 1994. Building a 72-story giant tower required 1.2 billion, while Shi Yuzhu only had 100 million in cash. It seemed that the bolder the person, the taller the building. By 1996, the Giant Tower faced financial distress. Shi Yuzhu redirected all funds from the health product sector to the construction project. Consequently, the health product business rapidly deteriorated due to excessive financial drainage. In 1997, the Giant Tower failed to complete on schedule. Purchasers who had already bought began to demand refunds, and the media extensively reported the financial crisis at Giant. Soon, construction halted at just 3 floors above ground, and Shi Yuzhu vanished from public view. Later, in a comeback interview, Shi Yuzhu reminisced that the behavior during the construction of the giant tower didn't resemble the actions of business professionals, but seemed more like a group of kindergartens making decisions on a whim. The rise and fall of the giant group serves as a classic case of failures in China's economic development, characterized by a rush of quick success and instant benefits. This outcome stems from the Communist Party's materialistic and atheistic indoctrination, leading to a widespread lack of faith and insatiable desire among the Chinese population. Consequently, many lack a steady and pragmatic approach to their undertakings, embarking on grandiose projects only to end in disgrace. China's economy, having experienced several decades of rapid growth, is now facing an irreversible, comprehensive collapse this year, mirroring an enlarged version of the giant model. Amid escalating internal and external crises, the communist regime likewise cannot escape an impending disintegration and downfall.